we have got a lot to talk about. And for those of you who have followed me for a while, you already know that if there was one speaker that has stood the test of time as a personal favorite, that speaker would probably be the Sapphires. This one and done open baffle experience was so easy to recommend for anyone that was seeking a solution that came with no excuses or compromise. Aside from the NX from GR Research, which are a different animal, do-it-yourself kit, and do require additional subs to match the bandwidth heard from the Sapphires, there really hasn't been a rival that I know of that even comes close to the Sapphires that clearly outperforms them in every single category. That's right. It's as if in a brief moment in history, audiophile history, lightning struck. And for those fortunate enough to experience it, knew exactly what I was talking about. No hyperbole, no BS, no stupid advertising in a corrupt magazine that no one even reads. No, the Sapphires were legit. I told you guys, they were legit. Many people trusted me, and the countless reports of people loving the heck out of those speakers started pouring in, and those reports never seemed to stop. So yeah, lightning struck, and unfortunately the show has been over for a couple of years now. But with a warm welcome back to New Record Day, as the sound of thunder rumbles in the distance, it appears we are in for some stormy weather, and would you know it, lightning is about to strike twice. Not long ago, Clayton Shaw gave me a call discussing his recovery from very serious health issues, his departure from spatial audio, that kind of shocked everybody, and at the same time, his itch to work on one more speaker as he heads into retirement. He also mentioned he has a prototype he's been finalizing and plans to showcase it at Capital Audio Fest this November. And here's where things get interesting. He wanted to know if the crew, you guys at NRD, might be interested in giving these a quick listen before the show.
What did you say?
Wait, what? Clayton is back? Clayton has a new speaker? Clayton is coming to Iowa Park? That's right, folks. And my goodness me, as you frantically fumble for a pair of headphones, let's get this part right. I hope to heck you're listening, because this is it. Without question, hesitation, or apprehension, the Sapphires have finally, truly, fully, and forever been dethroned. All right, first track that we're going to check out is an NRD anthem, Death Row by Chris Stapleton. All these clips are recorded 24/192, and I'm going to leave high-resolution files in a folder down below for those that want to hear them without any YouTube compression. The mics used are my trusty Earthworks QTC30s, and there are no effects, no normalization, no EQ, no compression, or anything else that's going to get in the way of this recording. So seriously, headphones. Now, let's go. second track is the one that is going to break your brains. And when I heard this on CALADAN, I couldn't even wrap my head around the bass extension. And I still can't. Folks, in Final Cut, I can see the fundamentals in EQ swings using an analyzer, and you are about to hear serious content in the 20s with fundamentals as low as 26 hertz. I'm not pulling your leg, I'm not joking. You're going to hear this. The track is called Fading Sun from an artist that I can't pronounce, but either way, get ready to hear the impossible. Okay, this last track, Roy Gaines' Stormy Monday Blues, was one that Clayton mentioned, and we fell in love with it. Recorded in 1975, the placement of instruments and believable delivery is what's gonna jack you up. Sure, this might not offer the same level of detail that you're gonna find in modern recordings, but just listen and focus on the energy and foundation being conveyed in each and every single instrument. Also, I'm going to let this one play out a little bit because the more that it plays, the more things get interesting. So give this one a second to really start to take shape. It's going to blow your mind.
They call it Stormy Monday, but I said Tuesday is just as bad. Oh, they call it Stormy Monday. Oh, Tuesday is just as bad. Whoa, Wednesday's worse. Thursday is so sad. The eagle flies on Friday. Oh, but Saturday I go out to play. Oh, eagle flies on Friday, people. I said Saturday I go out to play. Oh, Sunday I go to church, kneel down on my knees and pray.
So I don't know about you, and there's only so much that we can hear in a sound clip or that a sound clip can convey, but everything that I'm hearing in CALADAN is exactly what Ron from New Record Day is looking for in hi-fi. As you can see, CALADAN is smaller than the Sapphires. In fact, the speakers are only 40 pounds, which makes moving them around a breeze compared to the older M3s. And to be honest with you, I was a little worried that because they are smaller, they were going to sound small. No. Nope. No. Nope. Not even a little or close to the truth. They actually sound freaking massive. Not only that, but the truth is, and this is the truth, CALADAN not only sounds just as big and bold as the older Sapphires, but the bass impact and velocity is even quicker and it sounds more resolving. Second, due to the closer proximity of the tweeter to the midband drivers, the entire listening experience is more cohesive than the Sapphires. You know, anytime that Danny from GR Research has heard the Sapphires over here, he's always pointed out the one thing, the one and only nitpick that he has with them. To him, there were moments when the top end of the Sapphire sounded slightly disconnected from the midband performance. And look, I would passively agree with him. Passively agree, but it didn't really hit me until I heard CALADAN right after the Sapphires back to back. Just the other night, Clayton, Mark, and I all had a shootout of both speakers listening to Take 5. Focusing our attention on the drum solo, it was clear, absolutely clear that CALADAN sounded more true to the recording and the kit's localization, and it sounded way more believable. With the hi-hat played simultaneously with the snare drum or the toms, we all agreed, it was unanimous, that the spatial representation of every single drum piece was far more accurate and believable with CALADAN than it was with the Sapphires. While both speakers sounded similar and shared the same sonic DNA, this was an eye-opener for me to finally realize that Danny of GR Research, he's been right all along. By making the physical change of positioning the drivers closer to each other, Clayton has once again demonstrated that he's not content with resting on old, outdated ideas. This seemingly minor adjustment was all it took for CALADAN to clearly outperform the now, as much as it pains me to say this, outdated sounding Sapphires. Next, we all knew that a key strength of the Sapphires was the tweeter's ability to handle a low crossover point. However, given that this tweeter is largely out of production, unless you're willing to spend a fortune and stockpile tweeters, you need to make compromises. Both Clayton and Danny share the same belief that achieving great sound hinges on lowering the crossover point as much as possible without encountering mechanical issues. After a lot of testing, Clayton found a silk dome tweeter that can perform perfectly at just 1K. If that number doesn't mean much to you, let me simplify. Most crossover points that we're talking about are nowhere near that low. They usually range from 2,500 up to 3,500, if even higher. So, what is the advantage of this? It's pretty straightforward. It's all about speed. Above 1K, you're dealing with sonic information that requires a driver that is capable of keeping up with it. A tweeter with low mass that can respond quickly delivers a stop-and-go type of sonic experience. Hear me, folks. No woofer on this planet, and I don't give a rat's rear end what the marketing team from that company is going to try to tell you, can match this level of definition at such high frequencies. And woofers have a tendency of adding their own character to the sound when they're playing that high, which is not something that we want. What we do want is to hear the music and nothing else. And this is precisely what the Sapphires did, what the Audicas do, and it's what CALADAN does as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 1 What about the mid-range? Is CALADAN a two-way? Is it a three-way? Is it something else entirely? Keeping in mind that the lower crossover point provides more flexibility in driver placement and distance from each other, Clayton managed to move in the direction of a very simple two-way design. Now, this does have several advantages. First, and not to be overlooked, it lowers the cost of the speaker by reducing the number of components. That is a win-win any way you slice it, and it allowed him to spend a little more money on the components that he is using. Also, with fewer components in the signal path, Clayton faces fewer challenges dealing with phase relationships. Not to mention, fewer components in the signal path also allows the speaker to retain as much sensitivity as possible. While I have taken some quick measurements of the CALADAN prototype that you see behind me, I'm going to need to wait for the production pair before I can solidify the facts, but I'm going to tell you this. The frequency response is linear. The horizontal and vertical looks absolutely fantastic, and from what I can see, CALADAN is looking to be around 93 to 94 decibels sensitivity, which is freaking fantastic news. As I get closer to a more comprehensive review of the speaker, I'm going to have a better understanding of exactly what's happening, and I'm going to be able to substantiate literally everything that I'm celebrating right now. But let's rip off the Band-Aid right now. CALADAN, the speakers behind me right now that you're looking at, these are the most exciting speakers that I have encountered in recent history here at New Record Day. Over the last decade, I've given you guys a decade of hard work to demonstrate through sound clips, live streams, reviews, and so much more that my idea of audio bliss is closely linked to open baffle designs. With a recent poll that I conducted on my community page, it's obvious that my audience is also on a similar journey. So, if there is ever been a time when I need my viewers to wholeheartedly trust my words, that time is right now. CALADAN will replace the Sapphires as my go-to reference speaker. Mark my words. This won't be a flavor of the month, the next best thing for a week, or anything else we typically see written in between the pages of advertisements in magazines. No, it's not what's going to happen. CALADAN is the complete package. It is the real deal. And even more, it incorporates principles and building blocks that I've already been talking about for many years. Paper cone drivers, low crossover points, a clean signal path free from crappy components, and of course, an open baffle design that can be placed in any room to deliver the experience that you have been searching for. So yeah, guys, it looks like we're in for some stormy weather after all. Lightning is about to strike twice, and CALADAN is coming. I guess that just leaves one more thing. Did I mention that the street price is only $29.50?